Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of On the Mic with Mike. My name is Mike Larkin, and joining me today are the Sinister Sisters themselves. You can check them out, the Fetish Plug Talk podcast coming up in February. I am joined by the one, the only Sydney Thunder, and the one, the only Miss Goddess Nadia. Ladies, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. How are you?
Very, very well. Thank you so much, Michael, for having us back on again.
You are very welcome, Nadia. I got to say, coming on the show, I'm pleased to have you. Sydney and I have done our thing back in the day, but it's nice to have the two Sinister Sisters up in here. I got to say, you guys have been doing a lot of amazing work as always.
Oh, yes. We've just been busy, busy, busy little bees. Just stay tuned for all the fun stuff we have to throw your way, Michael. Nice to meet you, and thank you for having me today with my skinny sister.
Absolutely. But no, I think what's great about it, first and foremost, as they just said, folks, they're busy. Busy is always good. You know what I'm saying? The grind never stops. And speaking of the grind, man, y'all are getting into the podcasting front with Fetish Plug Talk podcast. Number one, congratulations. And number two, podcasting. There's so much variety out there and so many different preferences and so many things that go into it. I'm really excited to listen to the first episode.
Oh, yes. We are so amped. We attempted to shoot the first episode the other day. However, we had JT was sick. So we are going to rinse and repeat. But we have 4 episodes under our belt now, which is really exciting.
Oh, congratulations. Wonderful. I got to say, first and foremost, as far as the podcasting goes, let's talk about getting into this. Like, what kind of grabbed you guys, number one, towards the podcasting realm? But number two, what I love about it, too, is there's so many different fetishes out there and different preferences, and makes things very much open-minded and really exploring one's horizons, and a lot of great discussion and fun that goes into the shows. What kind of gravitated y'all to start this podcast? Here we are. Boom. Like I said, it's a very much an exciting announcer for a lot of people in the sessions wrestling community, but people who are into the fetishes as well.
Yeah, we've been talking about starting a podcast, Sydney and I, for years now, especially during our double sessions. We were talking about, how many stories we have to tell between doing sessions and filming and all the adventures we've been on. And who better to tell it than us and all the fun ladies we know. It's going to be insane. The stuff we talk about, you guys are going to lose your minds hearing it from us. Is going to be the coolest thing ever. We're so excited. I just geek out over it.
Yeah, there's so much to talk about. Endless topics and all of the guests that we are going to have on, and so many fun ideas up our sleeve.
We've backlogged ideas for years now.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's what's the best thing, first and foremost, just about chemistry that not only you two have, but every woman that has done sessions in fetish modeling. What I love about it too is, as well as you mentioned, a woman like JT, Jennifer Thomas, Skylar Renee. I mean, y'all have just been killing it, not only with them, but we've seen some shoots with Lexa Stahl, with Sheena, the Hungarian Hurricane Bathory. Like, y'all have really been killing it with the customs and everything that goes into the imagery, but also as well, just great content, because the constant production of content really is something between the two of you. I got to put that over hugely.
Absolutely. We've definitely upped the ante on content and different collabs. This last year was epic. And yeah, I just dropped some new releases actually, and I was editing some clips today. It's so much fun, and the chemistry between us, it comes off on camera, and I'm extremely proud of the collabs that we've done and the new collabs coming up. So it's a lot of hot, very spicy content to be had. And we did lots of different genres. We did wrestling, cat fighting, lift and carry, some more sensual. And like you just said, the chemistry is really off the charts. And those ladies that you mentioned, I love working with them. I really do have love for them.
Now, Nadia, I got to ask you this as well, because I think with someone with your stature and just the overall term goddess that both of you two exude and accentuate from the internal as well as external beauty standpoint, I got to say, first and foremost, living up to the title. I mean, for you, being an empowering woman like yourself, including yourself, Miss Sydney Thunder, I think the empowerment of just showcasing that strength, that overall foundation that is the overall woman, the representation of your presentation, and if you will, how awesome is that for you, just to not only be inspiring through your words and actions, both of you, but also at the second time being just hot and sensuality encompassed within your overall beings. It's got to make for something that's great for the gravitational pull that you all feed into from the fan base.
Oh, it's just something that's always kind of come natural to me as far as just the whole Amazon, persona, just because I've been lifting weights since I was young and just naturally strong person. So it's easy for me to really, I wouldn't even call it getting into character because it is who I am. I'm not very good at acting per se. I just, what you see is what you get. And a lot of people that meet me in person say the same thing, that have been fans and been watching my content for years. They're like, really easygoing person, but just big and muscular and, dominating. And it's so much fun. It's hard to fake the funk. So I think a lot of clients and our fans can really see, especially between Sydney and I, just the chemistry and just the natural goddess kind of appearance and attitude for sure.
And Sid, the same thing goes back to you, because being the firecracker that you are, we got to put this over here, man, because no, you have that firecracker vibe. I mean, if we see you from the social media front, one of your recent tweets, man, was talking about if muscle girls turn you on, hit a little retweet, a little repostage, if you will. So you're really showcasing those gains through social media, man. I got to say, you were very much upfront and very much just to the straight to the point on the social media front, Sid.
Yeah. Being in the fitness industry, I've always felt strong and empowered with building my physique, and I feel that definitely comes across in our sessions. Strong body, mind, and soul, really.
Beautifully stated. No, and I think I have to add on to the point is what I've always enjoyed about sessions wrestling. I mean, a lot of the girls, much like you two, much like JT, Jennifer Thomas, like you're really showcasing the bodybuilding side of things. And I mean, I remember when I was a kid and just going into like stores and you see like Flex Magazine or Muscle and Fitness and stuff like that. I've always just admired from the female side of things, just the muscular side of things. When you look at women like China in the WWF, or you look at many different women of all facets of life from the athletic standpoint and the combat standpoint as well. I think just having that overall, like we talk about mind, body, and soul, it goes into everything that you do, and it really just makes you see results for where you want to go and just where your journey takes you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lifestyle. It really is. I call it a hobby, but it's a full-blown lifestyle. I've been working out since an early teen, and even before that, I would tinker around in the garage with my dad, lifting weights and going on long walks and hikes with my neighbors, just all about health, wellness, and fitness. And then being a chef, I've always eaten very nutritious food, and we are what we eat, and it all ties together. It all ties together. So absolutely.
Beautifully said. And Nadia, I'll throw it back to you, Amazonian over here. I got to say, first and foremost, with just the self-proclaimed Amazonian, and you talk about this, and what I love that you said, I want to focus on this. Like you talk about with how you go into your work and how you carry yourself. I think what I love about you women too is it's straightforward to the point. It's honest, it's blunt, but it's you with the volume turned up 1,000 decibels, if you will. And that's what I love, because authenticity and genuinity with what you put into your work, and not only that, but what you put into the universe really goes a long way. So I just had to add that point to it, is you both can see definitely authenticity and genuinity that goes into it.
Yeah, there's just a certain attitude that we exude, girls like Sydney and I, and JT and Skylar. It's just that natural. It's the same thing with exercise and fitness and all that. It's like you're all in and you have that intensity. So people always ask, how do you get through your workouts? How do you build so much muscle? How do you stay fit as far as, your diet and that goes? And it's such a natural thing for us. And it's not like work, it's just our lifestyle. So you just have that kind of, hardcore aspect of everything. And to most people, it's a lot of work. And to us, it's what we love. And the same thing goes true with sessions and content. You can really tell if somebody's kind of faking it, and you can definitely tell that we're the real deal. So that's why we get along so well. Like-minded in every way.
Well, I think also, and I'll add on to the point, you mentioned the real deal. Now, when you think of the real deal, I mean, another added point and other kind of coined like term, if you will. I mean, you can look at the real deal sex appeal. You know what I'm saying? You have the real deal mixed with the sex appeal. And if it rhymes, can you really go wrong? But also at the same time, I think, well, not just, it's a very poignant phrase and a poignant like tagline, but at the end of the day, too, it's something that really solidifies women and solidifies everything that goes into general the fine arts, if you will, and the work of art that women are. And I also like to point point out the fact that really what you guys do as well as with the Sinister Sister side of things, because if y'all have not seen these photos, y'all are dressed like nuns, y'all are showcasing that real deal sex appeal. I love the name, and I gotta ask you for point blank here, Sinister Sisters, how'd that come into fruition? Because again, it's a great tagline, it's a great brand, and it's just tag team back again. Ooh, there it is. So I'll start with you, Sydney Thunder. Where did the Sinister Sisters come from?
So Sinister Sisters came about when Nadia and I met in 2019, and we shot with Leonard and Eddie. And I have this petition in my apartment that looks like a confession wall. And I thought to myself, how badass would this be if we set up my apartment accordingly and we shot them confessing their sins, and then we stripped down out of our nun outfits into these badass, sexy mesh outfits and kick their ass. And these videos are iconic. And that's so we shot those 2 videos, and then we thought, hey, this is such a bitchin' name. Let's turn this into a brand. And so we did, and we are now proud parents of Sinister Sisters. It's trademarked officially. So congratulations to us.
Yay! Yes.
So, yeah, and we are the Sinister Sisters. Our session, it's not a session. We are the experience, aren't we, Nads? I
That's
mean,
right. We've been called the experience by multiple clients now, so we took that and ran with it too.
I got to say, I love the taglines here. Team bitchin', and we are the experience. I like that. I dig it. No, for real. As soon as you said that, trademark that. No, but I think what's great about it too is with those 2 just taglines and just everything that encompasses you too. And I'm laughing just because I look at the fact that with Sessions, and I wanted to get into this, and I love the segue here. Sessions wrestling is really just about, you see the overall art and craft of it, from the head scissors and many different types of things, the body scissors, what have you. It's great for the clientele because not only is it just you 2 being the professionals, but also badasses that you are. I also love the fact that you're also helping with the clientele, and the clientele really has that experience, like you mentioned. I think that's one of the joyous and most professional, most amazing parts about the Sessions wrestling community.
Oh yeah, it's just a blast, really. I mean, we've been on so many tours now. We've been on road trip tours. We've flown across the country, and it's just not the same sessioning by myself now. I mean, it really is the most intense, fun experience sessioning with Sydney. It's just, we work so well together. We bounce off each other. We feed off each other. And these guys, it really makes my day, because so many guys have told us, and they've been sessioning for 10, 20, 30 years. And they're like, you guys are the best session I've ever had. I can never even have another one again without you guys, because it really changes you when you've been doing it that long, and you get, the chemistry that we have. It's the best.
Yeah, we really are in sync, aren't we? And
Oh yeah.
and our chemistry is just, it's undeniable. We finish each other's sentences, and as soon as he walked through the door, bam,
Yeah.
we're on, baby.
Oh yeah.
It's just, yeah, we have so much fun together. I don't even want to call it work when we
No.
session, because it's not work. It's an incredible time, and we really appreciate these guys, and have so much fun bringing their fantasies to life. It's you guys, they definitely keep us on our toes. That's for sure. So never the same session twice.
Nope.
And we're always learning new fetishes as well, and it's awesome to be able to show off our strength, our power, and yeah, we work so hard in the gym, and are eager to feel our head scissors, see if we can really put our money where our mouth is, and we do.
Yeah,
we
and
blow
we
them
love
away.
every time.
Yeah. I can just feel them tapping right now.
Yeah. Oh, the look in their eyes they get when they realize the trouble that they've gotten themselves into.
Oh yeah, they near shit themselves a lot of the time. Yes, and just opening up the door and their eyes getting wide and they're just zigzagging, looking everywhere in our physiques, and then we flex, and a very empowering feeling.
Yeah, it's a blast for sure.
I will say this to quote Mariah Carey and ODB, God rest his soul, that sweet, sweet fantasy baby. I dig it. Like your styles. I gotta say first and foremost, from the lift and carry sessions, and I will say this about any man, and speaking from the male point of view myself, there's just something about a beautiful, muscular, body worshiping woman, most like the two of you, just lifting you up in the air, and just that overall worshiping factor, if you will, that X factor, so to speak. So I mean, I can attest to that. And I think what a lot of people do enjoy about it, like our eyes widening, you want that experience, like we mentioned earlier. But number two, you want that accommodation, comfortability, and you overall want that overall convenience of the time that is being spent within the session. So, I mean, there's a lot of contributing factors. And I think a lot of the quality traits that really go into it that you women possess and all the great girls on the session wrestling community. It's on another level, so to speak.
It really is. Not every woman can do what we do. And there's a lot that goes into these sessions. A lot of planning and just training our physiques. And not every woman can pick up a big man, 200 pounds and over. Sounds like you'd like to be lifted by the Sinister Sisters, Michael.
I'm not hating on it. That's not a bad evening at all. I'm not.
No. You ready to book your double or what?
I'm ready. But but no, I think that's for me. I've always appreciated, and I've always said this. And first of all, these two over here just lifting you. I've seen it with a little body slam action over here. I dig it. I like your style. But no, that's the fact of the matter is like you have to have that appeal to it, because some people, we always talk about in general, like we talk about expanding your horizons and really opening up to it. And I really love the fact that a lot of people are not being shy about it, showcasing their uniqueness and really putting up to the forefront. Hey, this is what I like. We're not hiding about it anymore. We're not keeping it a secret. You know what I'm saying? We're putting it out there. And I think we need to be more open-minded, not just in sessions, but as a society, because there's so many different unique people out there. There's so many different preferences, and they say let their freak flag fly. Fucking rock it. To put it in the most bluntest of terms, fucking rock it. You got to rock it with whatever that you do.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. We have one life to live. Why do people judge? If that is what makes you happy, if that is what makes somebody else happy, let them be happy. Let them.
Right. Yeah, you have to develop a bit of a thick skin too, being in this industry, because you catch a little bit of backlash, you catch a little negativity, and for me personally, I've noticed, at least within the last 10-15 years, the switch between muscular women, fitness women being, ooh, you look like guys, to now it's like trending and it's cool. To be a fit chick is cool. Now it's like a huge Instagram thing. Back when Instagram started, back when Sydney and I were bodybuilding and competing right around the same time. I remember posting pictures when I was getting shredded, and I'd have people just go off about how disgusting I looked and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, now it's like, you're the coolest bitch on the block if you post pictures like that. But 10-15 years ago, no, that shit wasn't cool. That was like, oh, you look like a guy, gross. So it's just funny how it's switched like that. So I'm hoping with the fetish community, it'll kind of ease into a little bit more acceptance with this kind of stuff too, and just realize, like, yeah, just let people do their thing. Who gives a shit?
Right. It's just been so shunned by society. And what does society know?
Yeah.
There does need to be more education about it and openness, more talk about it. And that's another reason why we are starting Fetish Plug Talk. So we're very excited to broaden people's horizons, just open their minds more, and for them to listen and hear our perspective and hear other people, our guest perspective on things. It's really going to be a game changer.
Yeah, give them a glimpse on the inside, inside look at everything and all the tough questions to ask and all the, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be mind blowing to people to get a real glimpse on the inside from us.
I cannot wait. And I will say this to add on to your point here, Nadia, because you actually brought up a very operative word here. I've always find it funny because I mean people's perceptions, people mindsets change, and then there are some people who are just ignorant and that have their head up their ass, to put it in the bluntest of terms. Excuse my language, but it's the truth. There's also the fact of the matter is, like you mentioned, the fact of the mannish being out there. We look at a woman from bodybuilding standpoint to now from when it was back in the day. I think you have to look at it from the overall aesthetic of just like there's an accoutrement, there's a variety, if you will, like we talk about what people like. But I look at it from a stance too as well. You have to look at women for the queens that they are, and you have to look at it from a stance of okay, if a man could do bodybuilding, IFBB, what have you, doing the pro thing, and then you have a woman doing that thing, it goes with any combative sport. Some women may want to do football, some women want to do race car driving. You look at a woman like Danica Patrick, you look at so many different female combative natures from MMA to wrestling. You look at soccer with Mia Hamm did back in the day. There's so many different outlets out there, but we're so much more open from the female aesthetic than what we were back in the day. I think it's great to see more open-mindedness, but also at the same time, we all learn, we grow, and we adapt as people. But I mean, I always look at it like this: you adapt or you perish. And for those that want to perish, leave them in the dust.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, good point right there. Yeah, I feel as if as time is going on, as we're going into the future, that people are going to be much more open-minded, and more and more fetishes are starting to make their way out into mainstream, and just shows on Netflix, specials on Netflix and whatnot. There was that recent session documentary with Bill Wick. I don't recall the name of it. Do you recall the name of it, Nadia?
Oh, the was that gal's name. It was something Cindy something or shit. I can't remember.
Yeah. Anyway, there's
the one that murdered her husband or whatever. Great example,
right?
That could be anyone.
I forgot about that part. Shit. Sorry.
Well,
yeah, real tough example there. Yeah, just yeah, scratch that actually, because that was not positive for the session world actually, in the grand scheme of things.
Pissed off. She was thinking getting judged, so she
yeah,
little gasket.
Yeah, people are so quick to judge though. In general, people are just so damn quick to judge, and it's like, wait, hold on a second, aren't you doing X, Y, and Z? Well, yeah. Oh, okay, so that's okay for you to do, but you want to judge somebody else for doing what they like? Give me a break. People can fuck off.
Yeah, well, I think it makes me I respect athletes so much more now just doing what I do or what we do, just because it's like, even if you don't like what it looks like or what the people look like or the sport or anything, you have to at least respect the athleticism and the time and effort that it takes to get to where you are. You know what I mean? Like, even if you don't like what a female bodybuilder looks like, you have to at least respect the time and effort she puts into looking like that, and I do. So it's, it's opened my mind a lot being in this industry, as and I, especially with fetishes and stuff like that. Like, so many people are like, oh, well, I like lifting carry, but I think wrestling is weird, or I like ball busting, but I think head scissoring is weird. Like, it's like there's so many things that's like, why not just kind of keep your mind open to everything and not judge people for what they like or what they do or what they look like. It's just ridiculous.
Getting people to be more open-minded.
Yeah,
that's the key.
That's
the key.
Agreed. No, and I like the fact that it's like, okay, maybe I might not wrestle, but hey, sometimes I might just want to get punched in the dick. So I mean, there's
yes, and what I've found is when you speak to these guys, they're so all about their own fashion, their own fetish, and if you talk about other fetishes, they're like, oh no, that's weird. I'm like, how is that weird? You like XYZ? Yeah, that's great. But you're saying that that's weird? I don't understand that. That blows my mind, because guys always do that.
Always. Oh, the other stuff freaks them out. It's like, what?
Yeah, they're so wrapped up in their specific fetish, which is fine and dandy, but they're so closed-minded to other fetishes. It's like
fetish shaming is a real thing, and we hear it all the time, because we're like part-time therapists, really. Sessions, because guys, like, they like to do their physical stuff, but they also like to kind of let out everything they want to talk about as far as fetishes go, because we're usually the only people they can talk to about it. So they're just little chatty Cathys, and they just can't help but like talk shit about other fetishes. It's hilarious. I deal with that all the time. I'm like, all right, buddy.
It's like to each to their own.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
No, that's the thing too. And first of all, I love the fact that people also talk about other people's fetishes when it's like, hey, you know, you like this, but okay, it's so funny to me. Like everybody has to shame with everything in the world, but I also find it funny. Like again, you don't know it until you try it. But also at the same time, like you guys were talking about documentaries. Like I remember when I was a kid, like True Life on MTV had like, you know, a thing about I'm a dominatrix, and you showcase the world of dominatrix and bondage, which has become very popular from the fetish side of things and just the overall genre that it applies to the craft. But I mean, there's something for everybody, like we mentioned, but also at the same time too, it's the physicalization, it's the emotion that goes into it. You know what I'm saying? If you're not evoking emotions and eliciting a reaction to what you're doing, then you're doing something wrong. And you too, in your own right, when I apply it to this conversation, y'all evoke some emotions, y'all elicit some reactions, and that's a good thing.
Don't we ever?
put it mildly.
Put it lightly.
Well, truth is truth over here with the sinister and the confessions, like your usher over here with your confessions. But no, I digress. It's one of those things too where you love what we see with the Sinister Sisters, and we love what we see with Nadia and Sydney Thunder here. And guys, I'm gonna say this first of all, y'all two are a blast. Number one, and number two, y'all, we got to do another round two for this because I really enjoy picking your brain about the industry and y'all really telling your story and just being the amazing human beings that you are. I'd love to have you back for a round two.
Oh, we'll definitely be back.
I'm looking forward.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having us on, Michael. Can't wait for round two.
Of course, you guys are most welcome. Now, first of all, y'all are on so many different forms of social media, whether it be Twitter, Instagram. I refuse to call it X. Y'all got many websites that everybody should check out, from Elite Sirens to Sinister Sisters. And where can we all follow you, man, and promote Fetish Plug Talk podcast? It's coming, baby.
Yes, indeed. And goddessnadia.com, of course.
Yes.
Guys. Yes. So yeah, Elite Sirens, like you said, sinistersisters.com, and Fetish Plug Talk. That is going to, our first episode is going to be dropping soon. We're thinking February, so stay tuned for that. And of course, our OnlyFans pages, that has all of the spicy content. Don't want to miss out on that. And yeah, Nuts.
Yeah, follow us on all of, sign up for everything, guys.
Everything, guys.
And follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
Oh, yes.
Naturally. Yes. You want to get updates because we really do pop off on a regular basis. And yeah, I mean, sky's the limit with us. And, you know, we're on the edge of our seats. Can't wait to show you all the fun stuff that we have in store because it's mind blowing and our podcast is fucking amazing. So, yeah, the first one I did, we talked about sessions. So you guys are going to tune in for that one. It's amazing. And it's just part one of many, many parts.
Oh, yes. Yes. So you can find our links on our social media pages. Also on sessiongirls.com, it has our links as well. And stay tuned for Fetish Plug Talk because that link will be added and we are going to be posting that on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and snippets, of course, in our socials and on OnlyFans.
And I'm sure they already know, but in case you guys don't know, it's the first podcast run completely and strictly by Session Girls. So first of its kind, you will not find content like this anywhere else. I promise you that.
Oh, yeah.
Alrighty, beautifully said. Links will be in the description below the show, folks. And first of all, if you guys should follow both of these two and the many websites, the OnlyFans and the spicy content, they're spicing up, feeling hot, 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 like it's Buster Poindexter up in here. And it really does show a shine through with your beautiful imagery and your content, my loves. And check out this show, SM Show 1 or MCL92 on your Twitter needs. M Larkin MB, Larkin R90 score under 92 on the Instagram front, and Mike Larkin 92. Subscribe to the YouTube, and as well, I got to say, this concludes another edition of On the Mic with Mike. And as I always say to end each and every show, beauty, strength, and dominance, the three key elements that make women the work of art that they are. And Goddess Nadia, Sydney Thunder, the Sinister Sisters, I include you both in those sentiments. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much,
Michael.
You're welcome.